Okay.
Ini titik dah sikit. Dah start.
Okay.
Okay. It's only 4:44 though. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you all for coming to this class. How are you all today? I hope you're all cheerful and happy, inshallah. Today is Friday in Malaysia. I'm sure it's Friday also in everywhere in the world except for USA. Is that right? I think in the US it just touched Friday now. I'm not sure. But anyway, I don't think you're watching me from US though. I'm just kidding. Okay. Last week, we actually looked at, what did we look at last week? You remember? It's an introduction to how to become happy, healthy and wealthy. So I've changed the word happy to contented, right? So today, I'm going to look into content, how to be contented. Okay, contented is actually a result of your way of thinking. In other words, your mindset. So really, if you can control your mindset, you can try to attract happiness into your life and hence content. You know, you'll be more content. Okay. Now, when we explore the mindset, actually we're exploring the intelligence, okay? We're looking at our intelligence, our real intelligence. We're looking at the way our brain has been programmed. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. Before we begin looking at mindset, I just want to ponder, I want to invite you to ponder along, what does Islam say about mindset? Okay, I believe actually Islam encourages us to become a leader in any field that you venture. Okay, if you are a business operator, you should become leader to your team member. If you are a sportsman, you should become leader to your team. If you are a husband, you should become leader to your family, and so forth. Okay, or if you become a committee member of your masjid, then you should become you should strive to be a good leader. Now, I'm not talking about positional leader. Okay, I'm talking about your behavioral as a leader. So in Islam, I believe that we are encouraged. Our job spec is actually to become a leader. Okay. How does Islam look into this? I have actually designed my own acronym, okay, to remind myself to behave as a leader, okay. I'm not saying I'm a great leader, but I just want to share with you, these are the acronyms that I invented to assist me, to help me in thinking like a leader, okay. The acronym I use is leadership, and I've put my name there, Roslan Wahab, so that you make dua for me. Every time you see this and you see RW, you make dua for me, please, my brothers and sisters. I really appreciate that. Okay, so we'll start with L. In order for us to become a good leader, we have to lead with love. Okay, we have to take care of those who are in our protection. Okay, so we make sure that they're all okay. They're not hungry, or they're not in a poverty condition, and so forth. So we have to lead them with love. Like you probably have, some of you may have children, and how you lead your child to do something, to achieve something, you actually lead them with love, right? So to become a leader, we have to practice that, lead with love. Next one is E. Okay, what's E? E is actually, I'll have to check, enhance others, okay? E is enhancing others. So if you lead somebody, you must make sure that somebody's life is becoming better and better and better. All right? So this is how we become a better leader. Then you can earn that leadership. Okay? It's not like I'm advertising myself that I am your leader, and therefore you have to listen to me. Instead, Islam encourages us to earn the title leadership. All right? So you have to serve people. You have to help people. And if you're probably aware of the current buzzword of leadership theory, it's called servant leadership. Really, our Prophet Muhammad SAW has introduced a servant leadership 1,400 years ago. He was the proponent of servant leadership, which nowadays people are aware of it, but people are not aware that the origin of servant leadership is from our Prophet. So we should be proud of our Prophet. We should be proud of our religion. Okay, so E, enhancing others. A, be approachable. Be approachable. As a leader, you must let people into your life. Okay, you must guide them. You must assist them in any way you can. Don't close doors all the time. All right. So they must be able to approach you. Some leaders, they've got personal secretary, to screen people who wants to meet them. I don't know whether you want to call them great leader or not, but in my opinion, leaders must have open door policy. Okay, the next one is D. D stands for discipline. If you want to become a leader, you have to have a discipline in any field. Okay, in whatever field that you actually indulge or involved in, you have to have discipline. Okay, you know what discipline means? Discipline means you are very much like a disciple. You know what disciples do? They follow what the bosses tell them what to do. So in other words, you have to do things regularly without any hesitation at the same time. Or if, for example, if we pray every day 5 times a day, that is discipline. So Islam actually teaches us to be disciplined. Okay. Next is another E. As a Muslim leadership, as a Muslim leader, we have to put in effort. Okay, we have to encourage others to put in a lot of effort to improve ourselves all the time, so we get better and better. So share your knowledge with them so that they get better, and always put in effort. And because Allah counts effort, your effort is actually counted. Okay, right. Next is R. R stands for the result. Measure the results. Then you know how much effort you have to still put in. Okay, so whatever results that you have obtained from the efforts that you put in, then you have to measure the results. Are you achieving your goals? Are you within the within 10% of achieving your goal? How much effort that you have to put in? So with measurement of the results, it will just give you feedback of how much effort that you have to put in. S will remind me on strategic thinking. Okay, you have to have a strategy. To me, I look at my life, the philosophy of my life. Life is a game. Okay, some people, they have got a different way of looking at the world. Some people say life is hard, life is terrible, life is this and that. But you can play those tunes if you want. But in my opinion, it doesn't help you if you don't grow much, right? If those philosophies actually drag you down, you should really abandon those philosophies. But that's my thoughts anyway. So what I'm thinking in my philosophy, I actually look at life as a game. Okay, so if life is a game, then what is the strategy that you have to play in order for you to win the game? All right. Okay. H stands for humble or humility. All right. So as a leader, you should be humble enough to listen to others, for example, to get more feedbacks on your mistakes. All right. So I think if you're not humble, then it's very hard to become a leader. A true leader is actually humble and ready to absorb any criticism. Okay. And I stands for intellect or intellectual. A leader must be an intellectual person. You must read a lot. You must upgrade your knowledge all the time. You must know about the world. I'm talking about, either it's knowledge about religion, about Islam, or knowledge about economy, or business, or technology, and so forth. All right. So you have to keep updating yourself. And finally, P stands for perseverance or persistence. Sorry, perseverance and persistence. Okay, you don't give up. As a leader, you don't give up. And perseverance and persistence requires you to be focused in what you're trying to achieve. Okay, so this is the reason why I designed this acronym for myself. If it's useful, use it. If it's not, just forget about it. All right. This helped us a lot in thinking about how Allah wants us to be a leader. Remember, in the hereafter will be questions about our leadership. Okay. If you are actually a shepherd, you'll be questions about your farm or your animals that you look at, the animals that you look after. Okay. So that's just a muqaddimah or introduction to mindset. Next, Islamic mindset actually focus on responsibility and or trust. We have to uphold trust. So in order for you to become a good Islamic leader, you have to be an amanah. You have to have integrity. You have to listen to leadership and so forth. What is this? Right. Just one moment. I just have a look. Online feed. Okay, I'm going to read some comments. One is from the DLM, the Royal Lady. Assalamualaikum, brothers and sisters. Let's continue in sessions, sharing knowledge from Ruslan Wahab. That's me. Ishal Fatima, thank you so much. MashaAllah, thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. I'm online female Quran teacher for female and kids interested people. Contact. Yes, please contact Sister Ishal Fatima. Please learn Quran from her, and maybe you can share, you can make class with us one day, inshallah. Okay, thank you so much, Miss Ishal Fatima. Okay, so I'm going to continue again. So what's the definition of mindset? So if I may share with you the definition of mindset, some dictionaries define it as a set of assumptions or way of thinking that will determine the response or action or behavior. Okay, in other words, there's a self-beliefs, the perception or the mental attitude. Mindset is actually the habitual way of thinking. Now, contrast this with mentality. Mentality is actually a way of thinking. When you look at something, what is your thought on something? But mindset is the way, as habitual way of thinking. So this is is quite similar. It's quite synonymous. Okay, but it's not actually same. Right. I would define it my way. Mindset is actually a collection of programs. That's why you always see me when I talk. I always draw chips. This is the one I spoke about last week. Okay, this is called EPROM, E square P ROM, electrically. It's not electronically erasable, programmable, read-only memory, where you can actually erase the data. So we can do the same thing with our data in our brain. We can actually try to override our previous habit in order for us to improve ourselves. Now, there's no point of talking about how you want to become wealthy, how you want to run a business, how you want to gain more knowledge, how you want to do this and that. If you can understand yourself, you really have to know yourself. Yourself is actually consists of all the programs that you have accumulated over the years. And the people who have been programming you, probably first 5 years from your parents and your siblings, and then you went to school, your teachers is actually additional input into your belief system, and so forth, and then your friends starts to influence your way of thinking. So those are the programs that's actually accumulated in your brain, okay? So I actually define it as collections of programs that determine the way we behave, the way we act, and the way we react. So it consists of the belief system and values, okay? So for example, in my case, I believe that politicians don't speak the truth, okay? I mean, not all the time. They speak the truth, but maybe some of the time. So I believe that. So that's my belief system. So every time I listen to any politician say something, I just have to take it with a pinch of salt, okay? That's what I mean by my belief system. Now I'm just sharing with you. Okay, values, I value cleanliness. Okay, I prefer to see cleanliness in my office, in my home, and so forth. And I also value what do you call that? People who are humble. Okay, soft-spoken people who actually can communicate nicely. People who actually respecting others. So there are hierarchy of values. Okay, it depends on the situation. This hierarchy of values will just appear. For example, when you're driving, okay, somebody drove very badly and cut in front of you and you got so mad. That's because your value system has been challenged. Okay, you believe in justice and fair, but that person is not practicing justice and fair on the road. So you actually dispute him, and therefore the values that came up at that point in time is actually that person is unfair, and I want to seek recompense, or I want to seek justice. So you become angry. Okay, so those are the sets of programs that's controlling you. So what I want to share with you is how this mindset influences the behavior. So before I do that, I want to share with you, I've got some books that has been influencing me. Robert Ringer, the book is called 10 Habits of Highly Successful People. And another one is actually Maxwell Maltz. He's a doctor, medical doctor. A long time ago, he wrote this book called Psycho-Cybernetics. It's the way that the way that our mindset is actually controlling us. Okay, right. So if I may write down mindset influencing behavior, how does that happen? Our thoughts, our mindset, influencing the habits. Okay, in Arabic, I think it's called tabi'ah or tabi'at. Okay, and then the action. And then from the action, you got results. Okay, so in other words, the mindset has got indirect influence on your results. So for example, if you are a person who's actually sleeping late at night, okay, you really sleep at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, maybe you're doing tahajjud or something like that, okay, but unfortunately you get up late as well. So what happened there is because of your mindset, your thinking that says that, I've got so much time that I can do something about it at 10 o'clock, and then you keep doing something, you keep watching movie until 12 o'clock, and then until 1 o'clock, and then you finish watching movie, and then you pray tahajjud, inshallah, and then you went to sleep, okay, and you go to sleep. So that is mindset. If you want to get up early, for example, then you have to change the way you sleep late at night. So how do we do that? By changing the mindset. So we have to tweak the mindset in order for us to get different results. Now, there are various books been talking about this model. I've been looking at this. There are many models actually looking at mindset influencing results. And the one that I really like is by Dr. Alan Watkins. He says that the mindset starts with physiology. Physiology is actually the body, the way your eyes seeing things, the brain, the ears listening to things. Those are the senses, okay? The senses give streams of data, and this data create emotions, okay? So from your emotions, this is actually chemical reactions in your brain that give you these emotions, and these emotions give feeling to you. Now, according to Alan Watkins, they're not the same thing. Some people think that emotions are the same as feeling, but to me, it sounds like it's interchangeable. But according to neuroscientists, and also as a medical doctor, Alan Watkins, he's saying that emotions and feelings are two different things. And this feeling is the one that's actually influenced your thinking, and the thinking is also influencing back at your feelings. So they are actually interaction between thinking and feeling before you take some kind of action or behavior. Okay, it does something to your behavior, and your behavior causes the results. So in other words, if you are actually like Muhammad Ali, if you know Muhammad Ali, the boxer, yes, he get up early in the morning, didn't he? Well, he got up around 3 o'clock, didn't he? And he went for practicing, he ran around the circuit and stuff like that. So what makes him like that? What made him to be like that? It's because of his mindset. Okay, it's because of his mindset, because of his physiology, feeding those information, and he's thinking that it's important for him to stay tip-top in his field of sports. All right. So now I have said that I will not continue anymore. If you've got any questions, please ask. Is it important for us to change our mindset? Is it important for us to change our mindset? Now that depends. Okay, I am wanting to continue, but the time's nearly up. So nevertheless, I just give a sneak peek to next week. It's important to change your mindset if you think your mindset doesn't make you successful. Now that depends on how you define your success. If you define your success as you need to have a lot of money and stuff like that, therefore you need to change your mindset in order for you to get a lot of money, right? So you have to change your belief system, you have to change your values and so forth, and therefore you're going to change your habits, and therefore you're going to change your actions, and hopefully that will give different results. So the sayings in English, for example, if you keep doing the same thing, you keep getting the same results. If you want to change your results, for example, you want to change that, okay, you really have to tweak your mindset too. This is just a symbol for me, it says change. Does that make sense? So we're going to look at that next week, if we may, inshallah. How and why we should change our mindset. There are reasons for us to change. Okay, there are reasons for us to change. Okay, so I think for the English session, I'm going to stop here. If you've got any questions, feel free. If you want to watch a video from last week, it's actually in DLM Help channel YouTube. DLM Help channel YouTube. Okay. So you go to DLM Help. So Google this in your YouTube. You should be able to see this channel and search for the Business for the Sake of Allah, an introduction. That was for last week. And today's video I probably will be uploading in a few days time, inshallah. Okay, thank you so much. Don't forget, today is Friday, and don't forget, try to make dua for me and I make dua for you too, inshallah. And try to make dua for the whole Muslims around the world who are suffering everywhere around the world. Muslims are actually suffering a lot, isn't it? So why don't we make dua for them? Inshallah, the malaika will make dua for you too. That's in hadith. Please check. And don't forget to read Quran every day, in the morning especially, and at night time. If you want to read Quran, Al-Waqi'ah is good to read at night time, as well as Al-Mulk. So you can practice that. Total around 15 minutes, you should be able to finish the 2 surahs. Okay, thank you, my brothers and sisters. Really appreciate your time with me. And if you've got any comments whatsoever, please be in touch with me. If you want to team up with us, we can do that. Just one more thing. I actually did not manage to set up a PayPal account. The reason being, the United States government or policy, they want us to register with the tax people over there if you want to open the PayPal account. So instead, you can always telegraphic transfer to us, and I'm going to share this account number in our next YouTube session, inshallah, or in our Facebook. So again, thank you so much for your time, and I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.